I mean, if you throw the quarterbacks out, the best player in this draft is Chase Young. I mean, he is clearly the best talent. 16 and a half sacks, led the FBS last year. 6 of those were strip sacks, so he's getting the ball back to you offensively. I think Washington holds tight at number 2. Everyone's talking now about the potential of them moving out. What they're doing, Wendy, is they're trying to get other teams to come up and give them a ridiculous deal because they know that Detroit is going to take a deal at number 3. So what Washington's trying to do is get 4 or 5 picks to move back and still maybe get Chase. But I think ultimately, Mel, you're going to wind up seeing Chase Young as the 2nd overall player in this year's draft.
Yeah, the process complicated it, the lack of the normal process. And Tua, with the injuries, would they move up to get a quarterback who you haven't had that personal situation with your doctor, your medical staff, and that kind of attention to detail you need to make that bold move up and give up draft picks? Todd, they haven't had that opportunity. And the Redskins are at 2. They might have considered Tua had he been clean through the process and not had those 3 lower extremity injuries. So I think the Tua injury prevents the trade and prevents the Redskins from taking Tua. Thus, they take the best player on the board at that point, which is Chase Young.
There are really so many unique circumstances to this draft in particular. And Mel, let's move now to a question from John Gillenwater. Is it possible the Lions would be a player for a quarterback at the number 3 spot?
Well, John, they would be. And I think for what the question is, who would they take if they were stuck at 3? You got to take a corner. They got to get some players who can cover. They traded Darius Slay. They've made moves. This is a team that's brought in a lot of guys from free agency. I think what Matt Patricia needs to do is start winning football games, get guys who can cover, be the Stephon Gilmore of this defense. That's what I think Jeff Okudah, cornerback from Ohio State, can be. If you have an opportunity to move down, take it. But if you're stuck at 3, you got to make a pick. No, Okudah, Todd, would be the guy to take.
All right, Todd, a question from Nick Bronson. Should the Giants go with Isaiah Simmons or one of the offensive tackles?
Listen, they need an offensive tackle, but they also need a linebacker. And Isaiah Simmons, to me, is today's NFL linebacker. Yes, he has to improve in terms of take-on skills and instincts versus the run, but this dude can play in the slot. He can do that like overhang that you really need in today's NFL. He can play inside the box. He can play free safety. Watch that Ohio State tape. The 35 yards that he covers to go up and get the ball. I think he's special. He's going to continue to get better. And Simmons, to me, with Okudah and Derek Brown, the defensive tackle from Auburn, are the 3 best players really overall in this entire draft that are not quarterbacks.
All right, the Dolphins, guys, currently have 3 first-round draft picks. That's the most of any team in this year's draft in 2020. And in their most recent mock drafts, both of you have the Dolphins focusing on the offensive side of the ball, starting with drafting Alabama quarterback Tua Tagovailoa with the 5th overall pick. Here is a Tua fan on the Dolphins as a potential destination.
Hey, Mel and Todd, it's Austin Winstead down here in Mobile, Alabama. Big fan of the program. Had a question for you. You think the Dolphins are going to still stick with Tua, or you think somebody else is going to trade up and get him? I know everybody's concerned about his health and him staying healthy, but we all know he can throw touchdown passes. As always, roll tide.
Roll tide, Mel. You going to take this one?
Yeah, I think Tua, obviously, if he's there, and he probably right now, when you look at the injury situation, will be. If he is, do they take him? You hear rumblings about Justin Herbert. Todd will be screaming about that, but it's out there in the rumor mill. We don't know what they're going to do in terms of that. But if I'm the Vikings, I'm taking Tua. He's there because of the injury. If it had not been for the injury, Miami would have had to trade up and give up some of those draft picks, Todd, to get him because of the injury. He's there. I have Tua right ahead of Herbert, even though you may try to scream about me and say it's not true. I would take Tua.
I'm not screaming. I'm very calm. But I need to know who you're talking to. I have no idea who in the world you would be talking to, unless it's purely medical that Tua Tagovailoa is not going to be the second quarterback taken.
You can't ignore the medical.
I can't even imagine. Okay. But I can't ignore Justin Herbert's tape. I would much rather take Jordan Love, the Utah State quarterback, because he has the potential, if I have a quarterback coach, a head coach, and the opportunity to develop someone, he's going to be a better quarterback than Justin Herbert in 5 years. So I would rather take Love than Herbert, but it wouldn't, unless it was completely medical, where my staff came to me and said, he's off the board, then it blows my mind that you're even talking about it. But I still love you.
I have nothing else to offer, Wendy. I mean, there's
And
no
I
other
lost
way to go. I mean, Justin Herbert has nailed the process. He was a better quarterback on the field in Mobile than Jordan Love was. He was the MVP of the game, a game Love played in. He had a great combine, great pro day. He had a good season. He's not perfect, but neither is Love's tape, Todd. Love's tape is not perfect as well.
All right, guys.
But you're talking about Tua now.
Because of the medical, not because of the quarterback. He is fragile. He's had injuries. Now we're talking about the NFL. That's the reason why Justin Herbert, who has been clean through the process, has great physical, athletic ability, super intelligent, had a good year, really good year, and great process. When you talk about what happened after the season, after he got out of Oregon and went to the Senior Bowl, then the Combine, then the Pro Day, I don't know how you can't believe that Justin Herbert is going to go very high in the draft. I mean, I have questions about Herbert, but the league, there are people in the league that love Justin Herbert. I can't believe you don't understand that.
Breathe, Mel, breathe.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.